everyone, welcome back to the Mike Armstrong podcast show, and this is episode 22 of the 30-day YouTube channel growth challenge I set myself. Feel free to check out the other 21 episodes. They're all on the YouTube channel, Mike Armstrong Speaker, and you can also engage via the 30-day YouTube channel playlist on at MikeArmstrongUK on my TikTok. You can also find some videos and information in various other social media platforms. Just Google Mike Armstrong or hashtag Mike Armstrong in socials, or look for hashtag MAYouTube or Mike Armstrong YouTube, and you'll find my content around my YouTube and MA podcast or Mike Armstrong podcast hashtags for my podcast episodes. I like to record a couple of episodes together, so this is 22 on the back of 21. And episode 21 was talking about patience, which is something I think society in general has lost a bit of over the time. But there's other values I think that society has lost over time, and I think these values are important. So, I'm trying to bring them back and trying to educate people that these values are important to life and in business. So this episode is about traditional values and the erosion of them over time, and how we need to fight hard to keep them back. So I'm talking about values like loyalty, respect, discipline, work ethic, saving up, patience, that sort of thing. I personally think the World War generation had these values the best. They were strong. My nan was a wartime person, and she had great values. And, at the end of the day, a lot of those values were shaped by the fact that people didn't have a lot, during that time. And so they had to, really, respect what they did have and appreciate what they did have and look after it and all that sort of thing. And there was a strong work ethic, just in that generation in general, but going through the war and having to rebuild after the war. And people a really good work ethic. People used to trust each other, respect each other, look after each other, the neighbours, the community, all that sort of thing, community spirit. And I think every generation since the war generation gets slightly worse. These values decay slightly. And every generation is getting worse and worse and worse. And I think it's important to respect and appreciate and value these values and to try and maintain them. So this is what this episode's about, really, about trying to get the younger generation to appreciate that, relationship building and respecting other people is important to life and to business. So you can't do everything via text. You need to sometimes be able to look people in the eye, shake their hand, chat with them properly, to build proper relationships. So you can't just MMS or text message or WhatsApp people, but you do need to sometimes have a meeting. You need to look them in the eye, you need to shake their hands, you need to have a certain level of respect in order to do business properly. So that's important. Also work ethic. A lot of young people these days don't want to start off at the bottom and work their way up like everyone did. They want to start right in at the top. It's unrealistic, it's not going to happen. So you need to sort of reset your sights on becoming valuable by starting at the bottom and building that value by growing and getting up different levels and working your way to the top. There's no shortcut to the top. Getting the elevator will mean you miss the hard work and the muscle building of climbing the stairs. Sometimes you just got to climb the stairs. That's the way to get the experience and to get the muscle memory. So sometimes you're respecting that, respecting the fact that people who've been there, done it, got the t-shirts, deserve to be at the top, and you don't, and you need to earn the right to get to the top by building the muscle memory and building the experience and the knowledge and the expertise. That's what you need to do. So just get on and do it. Start somewhere at the bottom, work your way up. So also having respect for people who are older, wiser, more experienced. The erosion of respect is gone. With things like authority and the police and things like that. People don't respect people anymore. They don't respect their elders. They don't respect their family and their family members and their parents and what they did for them, etc. And at the end of the day, that's wrong. It's wrong. You need to just appreciate what people have done for you, the paths they forged before you, respect people, treat them well, and you'll get some benefit from that in the imparting of knowledge, the sharing of wisdom, and lots of other things, and just in the better makeup of society. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about that really, because I don't think it gets discussed enough. You know, having patience is important. Loyalty, respect is important. You want to build friendship, you want to build networks, you want to build a business, you want to build staff, teams, whatever. You need to respect people, you need to be loyal to them, you need to trust them, you need to give them freedom to grow and work with them for what it is they're trying to achieve in life. You need to have a good work ethic. You've got to be prepared to roll up your sleeves and do anything really from the start. And eventually you can hone in on what it is you're trying to do over time. But sometimes you just need to learn, grow, develop, and work, roll up the sleeves. So you need to, also you need a bit of toughness. At the end of the day, we live in a woke society now, and people can't, stand other people saying things about them or messaging online or whatever. At the end of the day, grow a backbone, grow a pair of shoulders, grow a set of balls. At the end of the day, you can't just be flaky. You can't be snowflakey and get through life. You need to be tough. So, that's important as well. Build resilience, build mental toughness. That's something which, the snowflake generation, unfortunately, I've got some traits for. They're not very mentally strong and tough. And, I'm only joking by calling you snowflake generation. You're just a generation. And you've not had to be tough a lot of the time. But if you want to build something big, something strong, and be successful in life, you've got to be tough. You've got to be mentally resilient, and you've got to have strong fortitude. And the only way you can build that up is by going through the process of getting stronger, getting mentally tough, broadening your shoulders, etc. So that's pretty much all I want to say on that subject. I think I've covered enough. You can work on these values, look at what traditional values are, work on them, work on your patience, work on your mental fortitude, work on your respect and loyalty, treat people well, work on your relationships. Do all of these things and you're going to have a much better life. So there's nothing else to say, really, other than have a great day. I know I will. And thanks very much for listening. Cheers. Bye-bye.